Hi, Gemini. This is your Leo season, August 2024 reading. All information to work with me one-on-ones below, as well as the extended version of this reading, which will be in the first link below. Give it about 24 hours. A new podcast segment and episode is available as well. And yeah, let's just get into your reading. This is interesting. First card out. Second card out. Whatever's been draining your emotions or taking from you is what it's stopping you from seeing something that you really need to see, or feeling something that you really need to feel. You're putting energy into things that you maybe have been for a while. Regardless, they don't need your attention right now. It's like as if I checked my plants every day. They don't need to be watered every day. It's the attachment to what it looks like when you plant something, and then what it looks like when it grows. How you need to tend to it becomes different. When things become ripe, what becomes different? Just like ideas, people, relationships, parts of yourself, because sometimes if you overdo it, it can kill it, set you back. If you underdo it, it's the same thing. So it's a balance. But sometimes it's better to do under than to do over. But you don't always get that option, right? So it's just being very clear about your intentions. And this month is showing you where it is that you haven't really seen or haven't been able to see or feel due to how you've been protecting yourself, right? This could just be that. How you've been protecting yourself and what needs to change moving forward, what boundaries look like moving forward. Because more than anything, I know you would probably like to see what this is and what's been brought up for you. And this has to do with going forward into moving forward in a way. In the chariot, saying like it's conscious, it's subconscious. It's like, how do you surrender while you stay active until the only thing left you can do. So there's a lot of conversation about surrender, Gemini, but for you specifically, as a very mental yet active, and then yet you turn off sometimes, it's like on and off. That's all because maybe that could be how you work, for sure. That could be just a part of the process of your energy and how it creates and then recreates itself. But emotionally, what has been draining you and your cup and emptying out, whatever you've been emptying out, has needed to be emptied out. And Cancer season did what it could, but it also exposed you to where you need to shift your rules or your boundaries about something that has consistently come back every time you think you've done what you needed to do. It's something that only worked for so long, but now the reason why it's not working is because you're growing. Like, that's the positive part. That where you're growing doesn't need this version of you to hold on, doesn't need this kind of protection anymore. Not right now anyway. It could be useful in the future. Of course, you don't want to lose a tool, but sometimes looking in a different direction, sometimes creating something new or creating a different view of something, because there's been someone or something that has also been trying to get your attention as well. And it could be a deepening of your purpose, a sense of direction. I think sometimes you just go looking for direction and you can do this thing where you exhaust all your, and this happens to a lot of people, you guys just are an overemphasized version of this, where you, again, sorry if you see me talking differently, this is the way my jaw feels the best right now. And I really, really love doing this, so I really, really wanted to do this today. Listen, I tried to do the Aries reading multiple times. They do not fucking want to be read today. So I was like, okay, I'm surrendering. This is a part of what I'm trying to tell you. I'm surrendering. Let's just try Gemini. It was one or the other. This is a part of your sense of security, right? You may think you know what's best, but it's not. There's something more instinctively trying to get your attention. It may even bring you more pleasure in the long run, but it's this security of the direction that you're going and this deep connection it is with your inner child, with the part of you that you've been preparing to express for a very long time. This part of you also is you perhaps separating yourself from this way of thought. That maybe this was something that came from, for some of you, it's a mother. And for some of you, it's the mother, but it's also like what you also got from the person with the most security, with the financial security, you may be making the decision to move on from something that has brought you security for so long. A lot of you, it's about how you work, and it's about how that directs your day-to-day, that your emotions. If the first thing you need to do day-to-day right now is wake up and steady your emotions, and if that's taking a walk, if it's moving your body, notice how you want to be moved. Again, like starting, if your nervous system, for anyone whose nervous system is going haywire, walk it. Just walk. Go out and walk if you can. If you can find a treadmill or a gym, or if you can pace around your house, any way of safe walking, please do that for yourself and let yourself let go of that mental chatter and notice if they all have something, if this all has something in common. For some of you, it's not giving attention to this part of you, and it's been maybe so long that you've done something in a certain way that you didn't, how could you have known? Right? How could you have known, first of all, until you found out that trying so many different things in so many different ways all just led you back to the same place, and you're wondering, okay, I've exhausted this, I've exhausted that, where, like, what is happening? What are we trying to say here? What is going on? Leo season is exposing that, and for some of you, you're just tapped out in one area, and it's time to focus your creative energy elsewhere. And maybe you're finding that through maybe being bored at work, like you maybe didn't see this coming. You don't love work right now, it's not fitting you the best, but you're doing the secure thing. What you can do is walk away in terms of your energy. Maybe this was meant to happen to inspire you to go out and create, to say yes to the parts of you that have been said, that have heard the word no too many times. This isn't for finances, this is for your self-worth security. You may also feel how much this is healing that part of your heart that maybe has been attached to, this is what abundance looks like. This is what abundance feels like, or this is what it should look like. This is what it should feel like. And now, although you've had many experiences, you may have a lot to be grateful for, you're starting to see where the real version of yourself that may be checking on your inner child for a while now, and maybe it's become a consistent process for some of you. This could be that, an idea, an awakening too. This could be an awakening to this in your life. And how you can communicate right now is by taking action. If a part of you feels hurt or taken from or harsh with this person or situation in your life, it's important to this month take what you can into your own hands, to walk towards the light, to allow that light to expand your vision and see that anything you decide right now, it's just not the best time for crazy decisions. Do what you want, but just saying, wait till the end of the month. Just wait, if you can. It's really fucking important, I guess, but if you can. Is that this is what's been blocking your heart, and the thing about it is, I think the worst part is that it doesn't surprise you. And, Gemini, I think it's time, I know you think highly of yourself, of course, but in terms of, what's important with family, what's showing up from in that aspect and how it pertains to your self-worth and how they're connected, or what the conversation is there internally, externally, this is going to perhaps feel easier than you would have suspected. You may even be surprised, some of you, by the way someone shows up and the ability to receive them in that way as helpful. It gives you the capacity, the space, and almost the foresight of what and why you've come back to this place. Why you've come back to less than what you deserve. Why you feel defensive about your decisions sometimes. Why, yes, even the best things for you were risks that you've taken and successful, but now you're getting insights to who you attract, how they relate to maybe how you were brought up or raised, how you willingly let go of at times, any sense of your own self or plans that you have for anyone. There may have been certain people in your life who expected a lot from you, and now you're realizing that you keep coming back here and you have to make a different experience. You have to now teach people how to love you differently because you are loving yourself differently. And as much as sometimes we would like to be like, we'll get with the program, everyone has to learn just like you did. it's giving you maybe the ability to see too how nurturing your security within yourself is about this innate confidence and light that you do have, and how vulnerable you can be to not necessarily anything mental, but the feeling of it. Because this is something maybe that's been in the back of your mind for a while, and Cancer season brought it up for it to be seen. Maybe you feel judged. It's not what we want here, but notice why. You're getting a deep insight into yourself, into your internal psyche, to what gets your attention, and how some things are just your preference, but what isn't a preference, it just gets your attention. And all of a sudden you're taking a risk. You're seeing where maybe at some point in your life, whether a child or adult or both, it was easier to put the mental aside for feeling, especially if secure feelings were not created in the home or not created wherever you grew up, which is a home, hopefully. And why there's a part of you that's been fleeing that ever since. Anytime that you run into a deeper sense of security with yourself, there's always, for some reason, something sets you off and can set you off. But now you're like, there's a slowing down. And I think that's like what I think in the other reading, I wanted to just do it. I wanted to just, that's the order I wanted to put it in. And I was like, I have tried this and my head is killing me, and maybe areas that just are not feeling life right now. So I took a minute and I came back, I stretched a little, released a little. And I was like, you know what? Tried to do it again. Nope. I'm like, okay, I really want to, I want to create. This is what I want to do right now. Let's talk to Gemini. And I'm really grateful I did. I'm really glad we're here. Because you help me articulate a lot of what I may realize but don't necessarily fully conceptualize, and you're able to conceptualize something in such a beautiful way that it gives you joy and a secured sense of self to create and open your heart. And because your mind usually takes that as a signal to keep going, because I'm sharing, giving, and it's really important, but sometimes that could attract people who don't know what they have. Like, for example, normally you have great cheekbones. Normally, you just have a way of translating through your own life experience day to day that can reach or make sense to a lot more people than you realize. And that's not everyone. That's not something that happens all the time. You have the ability to connect and connect with many people, or through many walks of life. And you know that, and you've definitely utilized it, seen it for what it is. It's maybe been used by others on you. But this is more of what it has to do with how you've been supported and how you can support yourself moving forward at this time, especially if this is a time of risk, especially if this is a time of internal risk, especially if this is a time where you are surrendering to what your brain has finally been able to digest from some experiences, or maybe even a specific one. And the choice you make to confidently move on from something or someone or an idea, no, not an idea, a secure way of life, not just, but for fulfillment, for healing, for understanding. I mean, that's you. At the core, that's the experiment. That's being human. That's so Gemini. And you may find that a different community awaits you. Or all of a sudden making this decision, or being presented for a lot of you will be a series of decisions that lead you back to a plan. Notice what triggers you, but essentially can be invoking or provoking passion to get this started. Something we'll even get into the next part. Your freedom lies in you being in control to an extent of the energy you keep around you. So you may go through a period of like really shedding some relationships, and I don't mean to say that so casually, but people will always love you. I know you guys get a lot of hate, but it's because you know a lot of people. Come on, you know a lot of people, and there's more that love you, but the ones that hate you seem louder. And now it's the time to shift into being okay with seeing the ones that love you and integrating that haterade, and realizing that you can have these conversations to help you grow, but it's up to you to decide which insights have power over you. You know, when you're triggered, you can't always know that, but the amount of time that you give it, or the amount of time you decide not trying to give it, will show you the weight and the power it has over you, if that's meant to happen at this time. You may get deja vu, or I don't know why, but you may get deja vu or flashbacks, or have really psychic experiences this month, especially through your sense of adventure. Be open to meeting new people, and just notice what it looks like now to open your heart to others, what it looks like now to allow others to receive you. And how that's creating the best care you can possibly have at this time. How that's going to create longevity. Ooh, talk about psychic. We're going to bring these cards out. Double whammy. Things are going to get very clear by the end of the month. So just do what you can to be patient with yourself, especially if you're using any utensils, especially if you're around any machinery or technology. Do your best. That's all I got. See you in the second part and next month, Gemini. The links are all below.